So if one is active and they are in conflict, argue with what is happening, it's really important to discern it so your attention can withdraw. Otherwise, it doesn't withdraw. So what can happen is people sit in quiet and being still, yet the moment they move from the cushion or from the couch, they argue habitually like any other. So the work is not really, the mind is not undoing itself from the illusion. So this maybe answers your question, whether it's to sit as much as possible. I've been shared and with a sage and another being that is awake. They negated just sitting still. They were pointing knowledge, hearing the knowledge and then reflecting upon it, and then one pointed and then remaining in samadhi. So hearing the knowledge removes ignorance, the forgetfulness of who you truly are, because it reminds the mind what you already know deep inside, you just forgot. And then reflecting upon it removes the doubt whether it's you or not. The doubt is removed, and also you start to realize that the knowledge that is shared from an outside is actually inside you, it's not an outside. So it turns to be your direct knowledge, not an indirect knowledge. Indirect knowledge, you heard it, you read it. Direct knowledge, you know it from within and understand it within, still in the mind. And then the one-pointedness removes the misidentification with the body and the mind. Means it pierced through the false identification that I am the one who's thinking the thoughts, and I am the doer of actions, and I'm the experiencer, and that I am a separate entity, that I am a conceptual image, that my beliefs are real. It removes this false identity, and then who you truly are shine through it. It's like you remove the clouds and suddenly the sun in its full glory reveals itself, and you recognize even for a glimpse that, hey, I'm the sun, actually was not the clouds. And this recognition enables the mind to withdraw back, because that's what the mind is looking for. We don't even know for how long. It is looking to rest into the beingness of who you are. So it's not you looking for yourself. It's the mind which is not you looking for you. Yet you are not a thought nor a physical body. You have no name, no form. Changeless awareness. And it's in the background, so it never say anything. So it's almost the mind has to learn to listen to a new language. And the language is silence. Yet this is not accurate, because the silence within you knows itself. The thought doesn't know what is silence, because it's a movement within silence.
Yes. And when I sit in silence, I withdraw, I close my eyes, I find a quiet place, and I don't touch anybody with my body, so I'm not really aware of my body. And I try to rise above body consciousness through following a sound current or meditating on a mantra or whatever. And by rising above body consciousness completely, then I would have direct knowledge of the fact that I'm not the body. And then that's a step on the journey, or a step towards a realization. At least I'm not the body.
Okay.
I'm a mind, and maybe not that.
There is, I many years was looking to understand and experience that I'm not the body. And what I realized, that I was identified with a conceptual image in my mind, had nothing to do with the physical body. So when I realized that I'm not a conceptual image, and I didn't get attached to that, then I transcended the body. Yet the physical body remains. Yet the identity with the conceptual image is gone. Understanding that I'm not a physical body, I was trying to look for experiences, and that didn't touch the core of it. So when I realized that the body is just a conceptual image in the mind, and I work with the conceptual image to see if the conceptual image is me, is the conceptual image is real, then I realized that there is something greater than that, and that's me, which is not a conceptual image. And then the discerning mind was very clear and sharp to discern that any conceptual image I have of myself in a physical body is just an image, a picture. It's not the real thing. So the body remains, the identity returns back to your true nature, and the false identity that I am a body as a conceptual image is gone. Then it has nothing to do with rising above the body physically, or having outer body experiences. All these outer body experiences are temporary. Because the awareness, which is you, permeates every cell of the body. Yet it doesn't identify other than itself with anything. It only knows itself. So what is there to rise above from? It permeates everything. The identity sits on a concept in the mind. Discern this concept. Find out if it's you. Find out if this concept is real. Find the source of it, the I. Where is this I thought arise from? Who is this I? Is this I me? And can I locate it anywhere? This is what you like to explore. This is direct path to realization.
And your effect and to direct knowledge, then something in meditation where you can reach no thoughts. So you're saying that discerning thoughts to what do they talk about inquiring into the reality of a thought or the.
So first of all, having no thought is very ordinary. Who you are is thoughtless. See, when the mind its goal is to have no thought, it generates more thoughts. Yeah, having no thought is a thought into itself. So now the mind forms a new idea. It's chasing its tails like that. Okay, I would like to have no thoughts. That entity is made from thoughts that would like to have no thoughts. Isn't it absurd? You have to realize that who you are is prior to any movement of thought. You never had a thought. Who you truly are never had a thought. It never tries to stop. It never attracts or repulses anything. It never tries to stop the movement of thoughts. So having no thoughts is good. It just gives a glimpse what remains when there is no thought. Yet having no thought cannot be a permanent state, because the nature of the mind is to have sometimes thoughts and to be with no thoughts. Yet who you are is prior to that. So fix the attention on that. Realize that you are that which is prior. So thoughts appear and thoughts disappear, because if the mind has an idea that it has just the thought that I'd like to have no thoughts, every time thoughts appear, the mind reacts to them. I don't want to. They turn to be enemy. So now what happens? I believe the thoughts to be true. If I recognize that thoughts are not real and they can't touch me, why would I even be interested in a thought, whether it's moving or at rest? Then you
Yeah.
start to realize that having no thought, it's a natural state. Yet from the mind perspective, it doesn't understand it. It says, wait a minute. So I have to stop my thoughts. Okay, it will be temporary anyway.
That's that basically puts the process of meditation into a all the time kind of state of mind that one would like to be in, where you just watch the thoughts come and go like clouds in the sky, not just during meditation, but all the time.
So we can take it one step even further. Not even be interested in the thoughts. So your attention on that is just empty from thoughts yet full. Just right now. And if you can recognize this, it looks at itself by itself. And the more it reveals your attention, its attention is on it. Which is, when I say its attention, it's you actually. It's not any other entity. It's not a separate entity. It's you, the most intimate experience of your true being. And what happens, the more it opens, it's infinite, yeah? The only reason why it in the beginning appears intermittent, it's because the attention goes out of habit to the thoughts.
Mm-hmm. I, would like to talk about some practical issues, issues that everybody, a lot of people have with thoughts causing problems with things like addictive behaviors. And I really see that this would help people overcome addictive behavior with alcohol, cigarettes, whatever drugs. And I deal with this myself, so I really see how I want to move ahead on the spiritual path. I consider it a spiritual path to really know myself, to become more aware of self all of the time, but slipping up into addictive behaviors takes me backwards, and causes so many crazy thoughts to pop up that it's hard to get to a state where I can realize my true self.
Okay, so let's look what is the addictive behavior. Actually, let's make it simplified. The only addiction is to thoughts, to thinking, getting attached to thoughts. And these thoughts, either thoughts I like or dislike. Yeah, so I react to thoughts I don't like, and I react to thoughts I like by wanting more of these thoughts. And I react to thoughts I don't like by trying to get rid of them. The same it applies to the body sensation, because anything that I'm addicted to that is external, it generates either pleasant sensation or unpleasant sensation. So now it applies the same. If the sensation is pleasant, I want more of it, and then I crave more for this sensation, because what I desire is always memory of pleasure from the past. And what I'm afraid is always memory of pain from the past. So I desire more pleasant sensation, I have craving for that, and I don't want unpleasant sensation, I have aversion to it. Okay? Yet everything I talked about, it's all on the thoughts level. So I can cut it on the physical or the thoughts. It depends. I can do both. First, I have to see the mechanism that works inside me and be kind with the mind and understand that the mind is not you. So you're not the one who is addicted. It's the mind is an addiction into itself. So it can undo itself from that addiction, yeah? Because if you say I am addictive, you took it personal, like you're a separate entity. So you forgot yourself, and I understand. I come and remind you, okay, this is a misconception. Who you are is not a thought. Who you are is not addiction. Who you are is not this reactivity or craving and aversion. Yet you want to look closely at it, and you want to explore it without getting attached to any future outcome. Gently and persistently, seriously, earnestly approach it, see the defects of the mechanism. It's a mechanism of the mind which is a very primitive mechanism, although it is elusive. So it appears to be real and it's not real. It appears there is suffering and there is no suffering. It's all imaginary. So we have to work with it and approach it from different angles. It's not a technique. It's a wisdom, inner wisdom you have. And the more you look within, this inner wisdom awakens inside you. And it knows, it guides itself how to approach addiction, reactivity, craving, aversions, and undoing this illusion. And that's all out of confusion. So if we understand and we approach it from this premise, then we can not fight it. Because if you try to fight with an illusion, it disappears and reappears again. If you try to control it, you can't control something that is elusive. You try to grab onto it, it's gone, and then it shows up and it appears to be real again. So let's look at any addiction. There's no problem. I worked internally. Again, I told you, the mind is addictive to thoughts because it is looking for the self. It is looking for the source. Yeah? Its nature is to look for the self to dissolve. Because it forgot the self, it is believing that it is in its creating, whatever thoughts it creates, whatever objects they are, because it identifies itself as an object. So let's look at the addiction. What is it? Is it around a specific? Drinking, smoking, what is it around? Food?
All the above.
Okay. So let's break it apart a little bit. Do you want to take a look at this?
Yes.
Okay. First of all, don't look at it personal.
Okay.
So let's look at let's look at the drinking. Can you tell me a little bit? When do you see a pattern?
Yes. It's usually if I've been working too hard, stressed out, or I feel disgusted with myself about something I did.
Like
Yell at the kids, or something like that.
okay. So okay, this is good. This is good because there is a moment that your mind goes unconscious and you take the action to go and drink. Either a sensation arises in your body that you don't like, and the way to move it is to drink something and kind of change the sensation. Yet it doesn't let you look at it.
Right.
So it's like the habit of the mind. It is like, okay, unconsciously you've done something, you judge, because you have an idea that it shouldn't have happened, when in reality it did happen. So reality shows you that it needed to happen because it happened. Now you want to go, in order for you not to feel what follows, you go and get something to drink. So if you know this gap, that it's here, it's coming, this is when you stop. And you take a look. You want to call it meditation? Fine. I don't care how you call it. The most important, you be quiet. Yes? You don't distract yourself. You look inside what's going on. And you don't fall unconscious. Means you don't fall asleep. Because if you fall unconscious, it's just like taking the drink. No difference. What runs the mind and keeps his habit is what it is. It's the unconscious. It's not what you're conscious to. Because if you're conscious already to it, it loses the power as you look into it. How long? We don't care. Yeah, this work it's a life's work, yes?
Yeah.
So we don't care how long it takes.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's one. Let's say see, I go back to the mechanism, just we'll break it apart so we can see again.
Okay.
I yell at the kids, and now it generates unpleasant sensation inside me, right? Now, the moment there's negative sensation I don't like, right away I have negative thoughts. That's how the mind reacts to the sensation, the bodily sensation, yes? So now, because the lower mind, the ego says, I want pleasure, I don't want pain. If I go and drink a cup or whatever, drink, alcohol, I desensitize, I don't feel. The unpleasant, I changed it to pleasant sensation. Yet this is unconsciously running the mind. So now if you see it and okay, there is unpleasant sensation, it's a given already. I shouted at the kids, that's what happened, it's finished. Now I have negative thoughts. So the mind, in order for it to trick itself and not to look at it and get scared of it, it says, I'll avoid it. If you look into it and you just be with the sensation and you observe the thoughts, basically it loses the power. And then I'll give you a practical practice. When you have negative thoughts, approach it with a statement and a question, and you don't answer the question. So I'll give you an example. I shouted at the kids. Yes? I feel bad. Yeah, I'm angry. I was angry at them, and now I'm angry at myself for being angry at them. Yes?
Yes.
So now I start always with should and shouldn't, because it's opposing what happened. I shouldn't shout at them. Is it true?
True.
So I don't answer that question. I shouldn't answer at them. Is it true? I shouldn't behave the way I did. Is it true? I shouldn't feel what I feel. Is it true? My kids should have behaved differently. Is it true? I should have behaved differently. Is it true? I shouldn't have this thought. Is it true? And you keep spontaneously bringing all the negativity. You let all negativity flood into the surface. Anyway, it's already flooding. So when you put a statement and you ask, is it true? It brings an inner light into the thought that you were resisting prior to it. And you keep, if you bring a statement and a question, a statement and a question, and a statement and a question, it slows the thinking process of the reactivity, and actually the mind cannot be in reaction and take mental action simultaneously. So it's either or. So it diffuses the reactivity, yet you're not avoiding it, because you bring all the you look for the negativity. All the negative, you bring it statement after statement with the question, is it true? You do not need to answer the question, because when you ask, is it true? Just watch internally. Just like your eyes see external object, you would see something about the thought. This seeing is an inner seeing, inner wisdom. Okay? And you haven't moved. You don't move means you stay on the Saturn. Means, so let's say you've done it, and then you have clarity. Now the thought sneaks in, okay, so I'll get a drink now as a reward. If you take action on the drink, really check how it feels, explore that. If you judge, you bring the statement and the question. Yes? Means if the mind already is strong to follow the action, you have to look, does it really serve you or not? If it serves you, check where it is serving you. If it's not, and you judge yourself for taking this action, you have to undo it by statement and a question. Yes? So you're more gentle and kind with the mind. You're not going after, because it revolts. It will revolt if you try to fight it.
Thank you. That's great.
And you can explore and play with this. Yes. Let's say you feel like you had a stressful or busy day or whatever, and you feel like rest. Yes. And now the habit, okay, I'll go and take a drink. Okay, you watch this thought. Watch, if you're unconsciously, how the thought, if you don't see the thought, how it moves your body, and suddenly you find yourself with a glass drinking. Or whatever you do, I don't know. Yes? Yet I want you to look at the gap when you are unconscious, and suddenly the next thing you're drinking. Yes? Once you'll see the gap, the next step would be is you don't take the action. Okay, you see, oh, here from now I'm going to be unconscious until I get the drink. You're like, okay, I stop, I watch. If you don't take action physically, the desire spinning in the mind gets weaker and weaker. It loses the power. Okay? And all you want to approach it, you want to explore, so you study yourself. You're not trying to fight and overcome the addiction. No, that's not your objective. Your objective is to know yourself. Know yourself is know exactly how everything operates mentally and emotionally and physically on a sensation level in the body. Know yourself is the relationship between mind and matter. How they relate to each other, how the mind relates to the body sensation or to thoughts. So you approach it from, I'm going to explore myself. I do not care if I will continue this habit until the body drops. Yet I'm thoroughly going to explore it. And when I realize it doesn't serve me anymore, it will fall like nothing by itself. If you try to suppress it and you don't go and see really what are you trying to avoid and not exploring it, you will keep drinking mentally and might come back to it physically.
Yes.
Yes? And if you already see it's not serving and you say, okay, I gotta get a drink, you just tell the mind, okay, not today, tomorrow. And when tomorrow arrives, you say, okay, not today, the next day. Let's see what happens. I'd like to study what's going on inside me. So this thought is a gift for me. Let me explore what's going on inside me. And maybe I'll go and make a carrot juice or an apple juice. Or maybe I'll drink something that will give me, that after I drink it, I would feel like, it's nourishing. Like,
yes.
Replace it. Just bring a higher vibration. Okay? So you, okay, I want to quiet my mind. No, I'm not interested. I'd like to observe how the mind is reacting. Meanwhile, I'll make for me a very juice I like, fresh. I'll nourish the body. I'll bring everything to life. I won't make it hard on the liver. I'll give it a break for a moment. Let me explore what's going on inside me. Because I really want to know the truth. I really want to see what am I avoiding inside. Because there's nothing, when you look inside, there's nothing that you cannot meet and see. Nobody gave us tools when we were young. So in order for us, when we didn't know how to cope with something, we imagined that it's so bad that the remedy was to avoid it and escape it. If you choose the spiritual path to know the truth, you do not want to avoid or escape anything inside you. You want to sincerely explore what's going on inside you. You want to study yourself.
Yes, I do.
Then it's the most interesting. Nothing can compare it. Studying yourself, it's the most interesting anything that nothing in life can deliver anything more interesting than that.
I realize there's probably a lot of things that cause behavior like drinking. One may be holding resentments and not being able to forgive, and a lot of different things. That would be a whole nother talk here. But just the tool that you just gave me, kind of shining my awareness on the thought, I really want to drink, is a tool that I really want to practice.
So it goes like this. If I say, I really want to drink, is it true? I'll be happy if I drink, is it true? So before I break it apart, any desire the mind has is because it wants to return back to who you truly are. Okay? Because it forgot the way, it's looking out. So it desires that if it will fulfill its desires, it imagines that it will be happy. Yeah? So now, I'll be happy if I drink, is it true? Go to your memory and see if you were really happy. And then how miserable you were judging yourself for drinking again, they didn't give you, and then... So it's a whole cycle. And this will... so you bring the state, it will be better if I drink, is it true? I have to drink, is it true? I cannot do without a drink, is it true? I cannot experience what I'm experiencing now. Is it true? I shouldn't have this kind of thought. Is it true? I shouldn't have this thought or addiction. Is it true? This addiction is bad. Is it true? So this question, everything, so many ideas it brings into the surface. And it's all these ideas are subconscious. So once they come into the surface, they are seen. Who is seeing these thoughts?
My true self.
It's you who sees it. And that's your experience too. Because if you see something, that's a proof that you're not that which is seen. Okay. Can you see as you have glasses right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You see the glasses.
Yes.
So are you the glasses?
No.
No. So that's a proof that you're not the glasses.
Yes.
There's no difference internally. When you see the thoughts, and you can really take a look at them by examining them, that's a proof that you're not the thought. Because the thoughts are not permanent, they appear and disappear. Yet your experience that you remain, you do not appear and disappear. While they are appearing and disappearing in your presence. So you gotta be the background of awareness that does not appear or disappear. You gotta be there. You're just behind. The habit is used to think that you are the thought itself, so it captured all the attention. You examine it and it enables the attention, frees it to be broader and broader, boundless. This attention is awareness attentive to itself. When it's not narrowed to a thought, to an idea, to a concept.
Mm-hmm.
And I do not know what inspires you to keep doing this work. It's really key that you stay around something or someone or knowledge or words that keep inspiring the mind, turning the attention in. This is hearing the knowledge over and over again. Because right now, as these words are coming, because they're coming from presence, they have power. They are affecting, going right into your being. Your being, it's like it soaks it in because you want to know the truth. You want to saturate the mind with that as much as you can.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're most welcome.
I love this. I mean, I try to immerse myself in this kind of knowledge all the time. But it's a battle sometimes when I, fall into addictive behavior. So I really appreciate tools for staying on the path.
And just like I share with people, you can, if you want, you can communicate and be in communication. And I work with people all over. And people, because it is a lifelong commitment. It's not a course. It's not like I'm doing now a course of something. And this is another thing. No. This is we talk about true liberation, full liberation. Yes? That all the latencies, all the habits dissolve into your being. We do not know how long it takes. And it doesn't really matter. So the mind has to see from within. And the mind, something has to awaken in the mind to be skilled, to undo itself. it doesn't happen by itself. Because the habit is to go out. It's like to train a muscle. I go walking or gym or whatever sport, I can't do it one time and that's it. No, it's a gradual process for the mind, not for you. You never go through a process. Who you are is changeless awareness. Okay? Yet the mind to return back to who you are requires time, and it goes through a process because it was going out through a process. The process of creation is out. The process of evolution, returning to you, is in. Both take a process. The mind has to awaken, and the wisdom inside has to guide the mind to return, and it requires knowledge and practice.
Is this liberation part of getting off the wheel of transmigration and escaping being reborn into a body?
Yes, of course. Yeah. As long as there is an identification, I am a separate entity, a physical body, all my desires are around objects. So I would take another body and another body, and I need the body in order to die from identifying as a physical body. So the body is the greatest gift we have. So it's like a temple or a vehicle, and we got the vehicle. So now the whole work is on the mind, nothing to do with the body. It's all with the thoughts, because the confusion, the forgetfulness, the false identification, it's all on the thoughts, nowhere else. So if I am aware that it's on the thoughts, I would go and search and examine and work with the thoughts and not with objects, yes?
That's very helpful. What about karma? Does working with the thoughts help dissolve karma that could keep us here in the transmigration?
Of course, karma is just habits of the past that are not examined. It's unexamined beliefs or ideas that there is still trapped there, a false misidentification. Karma is of the past, projecting the future, yes? Yet past is a memory and future is imaginary, appearing in the presence of who you are in the moment. So there isn't such karma, yet if I identify with the thought, in the illusion there is karma. In reality, in who you truly are, karma does not exist.
Well, thank you.
You're most welcome.
Thank you.